Okay guys, so first thing that we want to do when we're doing our weld is grab our equipment. So we want to grab our welding rod, and then we need to turn our welder on.
Do I hook the ground up first or turn the welder on
You
first?
can do either. There's not really a huge amount of preference. Sometimes I hook the ground up first.
So if I'm hooking the
out of
ground
the
up
way
and the welder's not on, where do I lay this down? Does it matter?
If the welder's not on, you can lay that anywhere.
If the welder's on, does it matter?
It does matter. You do not want that to have any contact with the surface that the ground is connected to, because you could accidentally strike an arc when your helmet's not down. So ideally, if you want to use both hands to connect the ground, you would connect the ground first. You can lay your welding rod anywhere, and then you would turn your welding equipment on. So now you're ready to turn your welding equipment on. There we go. And again, when you do that, you want to make sure that your welding rod does not have any connection with the table that the ground is on, just so you don't accidentally strike an arc when you're not ready to. And now we are all ready. We have our safety glasses on. We have all of our safety equipment, our gloves on. So whenever she is ready, she can put her helmet down and go ahead and strike an arc.
All right, the helmet's down. And I got it done.
And it takes a little bit of practice. Just striking that arc, you want to strike it kind of lightly, just like a match. One of those things that gets better with the more practice you have. Oh, he has it. Awesome.
So this is definitely ugly. It doesn't look anything like, where's the piece where you demonstrate?
Oh, I have that underneath of that one, yeah.
So I know that I definitely have lots of improvement. I will say for the first time striking an arc in a very, very long time, I did get stuck the first couple times. Just kind of wiggled it to get it off. Is there anything else I should be doing different
No, I think
there?
that was pretty good. Yep, just kind of wiggle it till you get it off. Sometimes when they get stuck really, really hard, you can just release the rod from the clamp and then just use your hand to kind of wiggle it off.
Okay.
That works as well if it gets stuck too hard that you can't get it off.
Okay, looking at my weld before I even chip any slag off, again, I say it doesn't look like yours at all. I think this is drawing on a little bit of past experience that students might not have, but I'm thinking I went way too fast.
I think that's what I would say. I think you started out at a good speed, but then as you kept going, it got a little bit fast.
Okay, and
that would
then,
help.
again, drawing on past experience, but how close you are versus how far away you are is kind of important, and I believe I remember somebody saying, like, kind of look at colors.
A little bit, yeah. You want it to be like a burning hot cherry is what my professor in college always told me. So eventually it'll get to where if you're too far away, it's almost more like fire color, like a light, like an orange color.
Okay.
But when you get it right in the right spot, it's more like a red cherry color.
Okay. So students, with the hope that before your semester's over, you may get the opportunity to at least try to put a bead down, this could be the result that you're going to get. So I'm going to give it another whirl and see what happens. So helmet's down. Alright,
That was better.
Still pretty ugly, but I could definitely tell like a difference from my first time.
You went a little bit slower that time for sure. I'd say towards the end, you were still a little further away than you wanted to be from the surface. But that first half I think was pretty good.
chip off the first just so we can compare. I mean, that first one's really ugly, but I mean, you gotta start somewhere and like.
Yep.
Oh yeah, so I mean, you can definitely see differences from my first to my second. Definitely.
Yep, for
I could
sure.
tell I was going at an angle as I was going. I was like, well, let's just concentrate on distance and
Yep.
speed, and let's think about like trying to break it down one thing at a time.
Yep.
Something that I did, and I mean, this is really from a complete novice view, but I was like, I've got to concentrate on slowing down, is I was doing little C's. I kind of was going 1, 2, and I had to like finish my number before I went to my next C. So now, with my stick this length, can I go ahead and go one more time, or should I change it?
You
or
could
do like
probably
a half?
do a half of a weld of the
Okay.
length that you've been doing with that one. Yep, and then we'll have to change it.
All right, so we'll go ahead and give this one more whirl, and then we'll probably end it for you guys today with the hopes that you'll be able to come back to school at some point and be able to try this on your own. So helmets down. Alright, so I definitely got my money's
Alright.
worth out of this.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
So what do I do? Like, what do I do with this? This is trash, but is there a certain way I should dispose of it?
Typically at each station, we don't have any currently, but typically at each station we just have like old soup cans we'd use as like a metal trash can.
Okay.
And then we'll just collect those and they would just get thrown in the trash. It would typically go to like the dump. Or you could put it with your metal trash as well. So if you were doing this at home, you would want to put it with the trash that maybe you have like a metal scrap pile, something like that, because there is a metal core in that. So you don't want to burn it.
Okay, so at this point is my best bet to turn the hold it, turn the welder off.
Yep, I think that would work great. So
and
turn the
then
welder off.
Is it safe to lay this on top of the welder?
It is. You can lay it on top of the welder. You also want to make sure you disconnect your grounds, just so the next person that's going to do it has everything disconnected. They don't have to worry about anything. Yep, we can check our weld.
I would say it's very similar to my second one, but maybe a little more consistent. I don't have a break. So the biggest takeaway, students, is to remember that the first couple times, who knows what's going to happen. It's probably going to be, for some of you, something you've never ever done, never ever had experience with. But I don't want you to get discouraged. The goal here is just for you to try and see what happens and to be able to say, I've had this experience. So have a good one, guys.
Thanks, guys.